Okay, I'm recording now. Hold on. Yeah, right. Let's do the clap. You ready? Now. Okay, you ready? One. Wait. We gotta clap the same. Aren't you recording now? Yeah, you clap just so you have a syncing point on both tracks. Like we both clap at the same time, and then you have it. Then you sync the clap. You got me?
I'm recording.
All right. You're recording? Okay. So 1, 2, 3.
Oh, hang on. Wait. Clap on 3 or
Let's try that
1,
again,
2,
right?
3, clap.
1, 2, 3, clap. Okay.
Okay. So clap on 4.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, so count.
What is this? The fucking episode of Fantasy Fiction?
Yeah. So clap on 4. Okay.
Yes. 1, 2, 3.
Sweet.
All right, close enough.
Yeah, that sounded good in my headphones. We'll see how it turns out. But anyway, welcome, ladies and germs, to the first ever episode of Bill and Kev's Excellent Tubular Adventure.
We're gonna work on that title later.
No, it's a perfect title. Don't knock it till you try it. Just say it. Just say it like 3 times fast. It's awesome.
No, I'm not doing that. Okay, what's up? So this is a podcast about whatever, basically, right?
Yeah, I think so. Like, mainly dicks and boobs, but whatever, else comes to mind.
Well, that's great. Okay. I'm Bill, and you are Kevin.
That's true.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're brothers. So we know each other pretty well. And we both I guess we'll say we grew up in a stable but weird enough environment that I guess pop culture is kind of a big part of our growing up.
Yeah, definitely.
So I guess that's going to be kind of the focus. So Kev, what have you been up to lately in terms of nerd shit?
Mainly thinking about boobs and dicks, but besides that, not much. I just got back to my college classes and quickly gained into the procrastination station of playing video games. Mainly Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, dun dun dun.
Yes, speaking of boobs.
Oh god.
So spoiler free real quick, and we'll get deep into Metal Gear on a later episode because I really want to talk about it a lot. But how are you liking the Phantom Pain so far?
I love it. And spoiler, I've never played a Metal Gear game ever. I mean, I've played like Metal Gear Solid 1, like maybe like 5 minutes of it, and was just like, this is weird. And then Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater is probably the one that I've played the most of, but I haven't beaten it. But
you have that on the 3DS, right?
Yeah, and it's
real quick.
Almost.
How is it on the 3DS?
It's beautiful. It's great. It's awesome to have Metal Gear portable, but it's pretty much impossible to play because the controllers.
How
are just
so?
Well, I landed like in the beginning, and I'm Snake, and I'm in the jungle, and there are enemies afoot, and I go to aim my gun, and I accidentally drop it on the ground, and then it immediately disappears, and I no longer have a weapon, and then I died. And that happened about 8 times, and then I said, fuck this.
I don't know if that...
Yeah, I
don't even know if it's possible to drop your guns on the ground. That's really weird. Now, I know the controls are really weird if you're not playing with a Circle Pad Pro, right?
That's the thing.
Now,
I have the new 3DS. The new 3DS, as it's called. Great marketing, Nintendo.
Yeah, we'll get into Nintendo
It has
later.
the circle pad built into it. And it's pretty intuitive, but it just, it doesn't work for me. I'll get to it eventually, but, all that bullshit aside, the Phantom Pain is probably the best game I've played in a while. And I would say it's tied right there with Bloodborne, probably, for me.
Like, in terms of recent games?
Like, in terms of, like a game that I'm playing where I'm like, this is actually next generation gaming and not just, like Halo 5 that Destiny is, or another Call of Duty bullshit.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's what I would describe Metal Gear Solid overall as a game where you desperately try not to play Call of Duty.
Yeah.
That's kind of the point of the game, is to avoid Call of Duty at all costs.
But that's what's cool about this game, is it's totally open world. So if you want to run in, guns blazing and just firing rocket launchers off, you can totally do that. It usually doesn't end well, but
I'd imagine you die pretty quickly.
Well, that's the thing. Like, most of, I've only unlocked, because I play Metal Gear stealthy, and
okay,
like a snake. A slippery snake. And I've only unlocked, well, first of all, I've put probably, it came out on Monday, I think.
Tuesday the 1st.
Yeah, Tuesday. And I've put probably about 30 hours into it already. And,
wow.
So it's Friday, so it's been like 3 days and I've played it that much. And
that's impressive.
But I'm 11% through the game total, like all
in 30 hours.
I'm 11% in, and
Jesus Christ,
I've only unlocked 3 non-lethal weapons. So I have like a tranquilizing sniper rifle, but it's not silenced, so if you start cracking that thing off, everyone still hears you.
Was that the Mosin Nagant?
Yeah,
is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's actually it's I know this much. It's the same variant that the End used in Metal Gear Solid 3. Is tranquilizing.
Okay.
Mosin Nagant.
Yeah, that's the Mosin Nagant.
Yeah.
I forgot. Did you even get up to the fight with the End?
No.
Or does it? Oh, okay. Does it tell you that in the game that the End used it, or do you just know that somehow?
I just know that because I've been reading up on my Metal Gear lore. Because the Phantom Pain pretty much falls like smack dab right in between Metal Gear Solid 3 and Metal Gear Solid 1. So,
well, well, it actually falls between Peace Walker and Metal Gear, like the original 8-bit Metal Gear.
Yeah.
For the it wasn't even for the original NES. It was for I don't remember what it was. It was like a really like obscure 8-bit console that was, I think, mostly only available in Japan, and there was a port onto the NES that was kind of not so great from my understanding. I've played like the first 5 minutes of the original Metal Gear, because I have, at this point, with the exception of the Phantom Pain, I have every Metal Gear game in my possession.
There's like 20 of them. How do you
No, there really isn't that many, because there's Metal Gear 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And I'm excluding the Metal Gear Acid and Portable Ops games.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. There's like 8 handheld games.
there are like 3 or 4. I think there's like 2. Don't quote me on this, but I think there's like 2 Portable Ops games and 2 Metal Gear Acid games.
Mm-hmm.
But all the main console games and Peace Walker, which was a PSP game, I have all of those.
Yeah. Do you have a PSP?
No, I have it. But Peace Walker is actually in the HD collection. It's been upscaled and put on consoles.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I just finished that.
Is that for the PS3, or do you have that for like one of your other systems?
I have it. I bought the HD collection on the Xbox 360 because I didn't have a PS3 until last night.
Oh, you bought one?
I bought a PS3. I bought Metal Gear Solid 4, which I just started playing today. At Metal Gear Solid 4, you want to guess how much that cost me now that Metal Gear Solid 5 is out?
I mean, was it easy to find?
I bought it at GameStop.
Okay, so probably like $15 maybe?
It was $4.49.
That's nice. You can't beat that, GameStop. Way to be.
Yeah.
Did you get a pro member discount on that?
I think that was with the pro member discount because I still get Game Informer, so I guess I still have the pro member card.
I think I just keep renewing it like for you, and they're just like, "Do you want your Game Informer to like a different address?" I'm like, "Nah, fuck it." Like they're still just showing up to mom's house, like piled up in the driveway.
No, I actually I changed it so it's showing up here where I live now.
Nice.
Yeah, so I got Metal Gear Solid 4, and I also got Demon's Souls.
Oh, nice.
Which is a game I've been meaning to play for years. I haven't touched it yet.
How much was?
I'm excited.
How much was the PS3?
The PS3 was $100.
That's not bad
for a 40 gig refurbished. The controller looked like a dog had chewed on it. Like they pulled. I went to GameStop last night, and there were like two girls working and trying to do the GameStop thing. Like basically, there was a pile of like moms with 12-year-old kids who were, trading in a bunch of like old Skylanders figures for for store credit towards a PlayStation 4, like the Last of Us HD edition. And they're like, this game's not for kids. And the kids look like they were maybe 8.
Oh my god.
8 and 10, and they were getting The Last of Us, and the girl behind the counter was like, this is an M-rated game, and the mom was just like, I just want to leave. I don't care. Like, just get me out of here.
America.
Yeah. So,
oh my god.
So yeah, it took them a while. They had to like go digging in the back because PS3s are, a first generation PS3 is basically like a giant piece of shit at this point.
Yeah.
Like nobody wants those things because I didn't even get the slim version. It's literally like the size of a PC tower. So they had to go find it, and they pulled out like the console looks like shit. It works fine, but it looked like shit, and the controller, like the rubber nubs were like chewed off. So they just gave me a free camo PlayStation 3 controller instead, and I was like, okay, that's fine.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I guess it matches with the Metal Gear.
I mean,
guess.
it's gonna suck when you lose it.
Yeah, no, that's what I picked it up with Steve, and Steve was like, "Oh, you'll never be able to find it." Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll hear that joke about 20 more times.
Yeah, and I actually will lose it though because I'm an idiot. But yeah, so I bought a PS3 because my Metal Gear experience was I watched my childhood best friend Jason Mosley play through parts of Metal Gear Solid, the first one, when I was like in his basement when we were like probably 11 or 12.
Yeah, that's
11.
That's pretty much my experience with Metal Gear Solid 1 too.
Yeah,
well.
And it's always been like something that like because of that experience I always thought it was kind of cool. But never like it was always like the controls were too obtuse for me to like wrap my head around.
Yeah, same.
Because like the Metal Gear games, the feedback loop, like if you want to talk about like game design, the feedback loop is really specific. Like everything you do, you like there's no Assassin's Creed bullshit where your character does stuff automatically. Metal Gear like really, really gets like nitty gritty with like micromanaging your character movement, which in a stealth game I think is great.
Yeah.
Because I fucking hate Assassin's Creed. Because there are so many times where I'm trying to climb a building and then my dude would just like leap, like rocket off of the building and fall to his death for no reason.
Assassin's Creed isn't really a stealth game because you can just be like walking around in the town with like looking like an assassin and everyone's just like, oh, that guy's, just some dude, whatever. Meanwhile, in Metal Gear Solid, if you so much as like stick a toe out from behind a corner, you have a bunch of guns pointing at you. and a bunch of guards chasing you down, which I thoroughly enjoy, especially Metal Gear Solid 5.
It's fucking brutal. Like, the Metal Gear games are really hard. And I basically, so my experience was something clicked to me like a few years ago, and I was like, I want to play Metal Gear Solid. I didn't know why. I just kind of wanted to play it. Yeah. So I bought Metal Gear Solid, like the original Metal Gear Solid. I think it was around the time the HD collection came out. So I was like, I was interested in that. So I figured I have to start somewhere. So I just bought like the PS1 Metal Gear Solid. Just so I could, play it eventually. And that was a few years ago. I didn't actually play it and beat it until January of this year, like right before I went to MagFest. I finally finished it, and then I started in on the HD collection, which I picked up like when I got back from MagFest. And I just finished that literally last night, because it's 3 games: Metal Gear Solid 2, 3, and Peace Walker.
Which one is Peace Walker? Is that the PSP one?
It's for it's a PSP. It's actually the one. It's the most recent one, other than Metal Gear Solid 5, obviously. And it plays apparently a lot like Metal Gear Solid 5. Like, you do have the Fulton recovery system. You like pick your missions. And you like pick your loadout before you go on your mission, and you can recruit guys to take to your mother base. It's very much similar, and it's like, I think it takes place about 10 years before the Phantom Pain.
Okay.
And like 10 years prior to that is Snake Eater.
Yeah.
Which is the earliest game in the series.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, Peace Walker's supposed to be really cool, and the cool thing about Phantom Pain is like all of that mother base stuff is like actually actualized, and it's breathtaking every single time. Like that for a game that has scaled down the cutscenes and all the Kojima bullshit to a certain extent, it's an amazingly cinematic game, and it's beautiful. And that's the thing, it kind of like, there are these moments that like should be a cutscene, but you're actually playing instead. Like, where there would usually be like a transition cutscene in between 2 missions, it's just like you're just running to another area now, and it's awesome.
Yeah, well, I haven't experienced it yet, but yeah, I mean, Kojima's bullshit I love, but it's definitely he's definitely one of the weirder video game directors ever.
I've grown to, I always respected him a lot, but I've actually grown to like find it extremely endearing and adorable, even though it's like completely batshit crazy.
It is completely batshit crazy.
He's so hot and cold. It's ridiculous. Like,
yeah.
You'll be staring at somebody's butt crack for like 15 minutes, and then that person just gets like shot in the head.
Yeah, literally, I just started playing Metal Gear Solid 4 like this afternoon. I played about an hour of it, and I'm like blown away, because up until this point I've been playing games that were HD ports from PS2 and PSP, so they weren't really pretty games. And then like upgrading to a 7-year-old PS3 game, I'm like, oh my god, this is gorgeous. But literally the game opens up like you're basically on a battlefield in the Middle East, and people are just dying everywhere, and you're just kind of sneaking around trying to not get noticed by the 2 sides that are fighting each other. And then at one point, you like, after, an hour of this, of like kind of dark, very like end of the world style combat in like street to street fighting, you turn around a corner and it goes into a cutscene where there's a guard, like, doing his guard thing, like looking around, and you just start to hear loud, echoey farts come out of an oil drum, and the guard's like, what the heck is that? And dude is in, and he's like, starts kicking the oil drum, and you hear a guy go, like, you hear this like nebbish voice say, don't come in here, I'm not done yet. And And he pulls the oil drum up, and there's just a dude with his ass hanging out, and he's just having diarrhea in the oil drum. Like, just on the floor. And you just keep hearing loud, echoey fart noise. And the dude just, like, runs away with his ass hanging out, and the guard goes chasing after him. And that's just... And then it's like, okay, back to serious sneaking, Metal Gear. And it's like, what the fuck? Like... And what's cool is, I actually read an interview with Kojima where he kind of talked about that. Specifically about the Phantom Pain. Like, are you going to have humor still in the game? And he said, like, I don't necessarily want to do, like, full-blown humor, but he always approached it with the mindset that the stealth gameplay, especially the stealth gameplay in his games specifically, is intense and kind of stressful and difficult. So his way of, like, alleviating that stress is with, like, silly humor and just, like, weird gags and, like, gay jokes. There's a lot of gay stuff in, like, Metal Gear Solid 3. Like, there's a scene in Metal Gear Solid 3 where you're disguised as this colonel, and the main bad guy, like, he's like, "Who are you?" And he just grabs your dick, and then he's like, "You're not the colonel." And it's like, what the fuck?
Can we just also talk about the fact that fucking Metal Gear Solid 3, that Snake Eater theme song, that's just, like, so fucking James Bond and baller.
Oh yeah, the whole there's a theme like that in Peace Walker too. That there, all over there are themes everywhere. Like, there, I think since Metal Gear Solid 3, he started doing, like, big... I think Donna Burke is the singer that does all the Metal Gear themes. But he does, like, Bond themes for every game. And there's one that plays, and it's fucking ridiculous, because it plays during, like, the almost final battle. Like, there's a huge action scene in Peace Walker that leads up to, like, the final boss fight with a giant robot. Mm-hmm. And you're, like... You spend the whole game, like, sneaking, and I usually play these games, like, non-lethally as possible.
Yeah.
And you have to just fucking, like, pull out, like, a heavy machine gun and just start fucking murdering dudes left and right in this last level. And, like, this like, ridiculous song starts playing. Like, not the, like, action music. It's like this there all of a sudden there's a lady singing. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And I'm, like, shooting down a helicopter with a heavy machine gun, and there's just like weird, like, 80s style Bond theme music playing, and it's just great.
Yeah, it sounds awesome.
Yeah, but I want to do, like, a whole episode on Metal Gear later.
Yeah, so we'll pop a lid on it and save the good stuff for then.
Yeah, it's because today is Force Friday, so let's talk about that. Have you been to your local toy store to buy all the new Star Wars merchandise?
No, I'm sorry. Is that a thing?
Yeah, that's a thing. That just happened today. It's called Force Friday. Apparently, like, today's the day. Do you remember when we were kids and we went to a Toys R Us when the Episode 1 toys came out?
I've been wondering why I've had a boner all day, and this must be why.
Yeah. Today's Force Friday, so today is the day that all of the Star Wars Episode 7 toys came out. And there are a couple figures that are, like, Japanese figures down the line that I'm, like, interested in, but I missed the pre-orders for all those, so I don't even know if I'll be able to get them.
Is there, like, a little figure of J.J. Abrams that when you open up the box, you're just blinded by lens flare?
No, but have you seen anything about this BB-8 figure?
No, is it like a life-size BB-8? Because that would be
It's
awesome.
It's not life-size. It's about BB-8's the little ball
the new
droid.
R2 dude, basically.
Yeah, which is real. I don't know if you've seen any of the stuff, but, like, it actually works that way. It, like, uses magnets to keep the head on top.
Yeah, that shit is crazy. They brought it out at
at Celebrations, yeah,
the Star Wars Day or whatever.
Yeah, the thing is amazing. It's, like, super cool technology. And the company that actually made the robot for the movie, they made a super tiny version of it that you can control with a smartphone.
That is so cool.
Like, the bottom ball is about 3 inches. So it'll, like, fit in the palm of your hand. But it's made with the same technology that they use in the movies. Like, it has actually, like, the head, you can just pop it off because it's just held on with a magnet. And it just, like, it rolls around. It's accompanied by a smartphone app. And it uses, like, induction charging, so, like, you know, so the ball doesn't have, like, a hole in it where you would plug it in.
Yeah.
It's $150 for a little tiny robot, but it basically...
Dude, that's worth it.
You can control it directly, but you can also just set it up so it just kind of rolls around on its own.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't really... I watched a review of it, and the guy kind of described it as being like a cat. Like, it just kind of, like, rolls around and runs into shit and just acts weird all the time.
Can you, like,
and it just
program it to, like, stay on a surface or something? Because that would be great if you could, like, just have it on your desk, just, like, rolling around while you're, like, doing homework and stuff.
No. Well, the thing is, because the head is just literally just held on with a magnet and doesn't actually do anything. It doesn't have, like, any cameras or any kind of, like, sensor technology other than when it runs into stuff. Like, it can tell when it runs into something, and then it turns around.
That's cool.
But it, like, can't really tell where the edge of things are.
Yeah.
Because it's so small. But it's, like, really cool. And apparently when it runs into walls, it, like, makes a noise and acts, like, pissed off, and then just turns around and rolls the other way. It's
adorable.
Yeah, like, I'm sure that's gonna be, like, the big toy this holiday season.
Yeah, I hope they make one that's, like, actual size. I don't care if it costs, like, $15,000. I just want rich people to have little robots on leashes walking down the street.
Yeah, BB-8's it's an adorable robot. It's an adorable design. It's got the most adorable Star Wars robot name possible, too. BB-8. That thing's cute as hell. I just want one.
Yeah. Me too.
But yeah, dude, this is kind of a big deal. There's a fucking new Star Wars movie coming out. That's crazy.
Yeah, I am super excited. I can't wait. I don't really get excited for movies anymore. I mean, part of it is because I moved to northern Maine a couple years ago, and movies don't really come out here. So
that's so weird,
like,
to me.
I'm pretty sure they're still playing, like, Fast and Furious 7 at my local movie theater. And they've been playing that for the past, like, 3 years. Just Fast and Furious marathons nonstop. But yeah,
Great.
I haven't been excited for a movie in a long time, besides, like, the Marvel movies that come out every once in a while, but I'm starting to get tired of them even. But yeah,
let's come back to that in just a minute.
Yeah, Star Wars has me super stoked. I wish I had, like, kids right now so I could take them to go see it. Like, that's how stoked I am for it, that I am considering just impregnating a stranger.
Well, that's excitement.
That is excitement. I would put a baby in somebody.
Yeah. No, it's a really weird time because, like, you know, we grew up on Star Wars, and then we kind of were at the perfect age when the prequels came out that we really, like, I know we both enjoyed the prequels a lot when they came out. Like, in hindsight, those movies kind of blow. Even Episode 3 is kind of a disaster, but
there's still Star Wars, though, and that's the thing. Like, even though when it comes down to it, like, some of the Star Wars movies are kind of insufferable and terrible, the universe as a whole, like, even if this J.J. Abrams movie, like, is a total flop, and the Rogue One movie that they're making is a total flop, but in all honesty, the producers aren't going to let that happen.
No, I honestly, I have faith in Disney's world building abilities. They've done something unprecedented with the Marvel movies.
Yeah, it's been fucking bonkers. But yeah, even if they suck, it's more Star Wars, and I will always take more Star Wars because I love sci-fi and I love fantasy. And I love fantasy more than sci-fi, so I love Star Wars because it's there might as well be, like, high elves and orcs running around with lightsabers, which that might make it better.
Yeah,
saying.
well, I mean, there kind of are. I mean, what are Gamorrean guards if not just big pig orcs?
Yeah.
You know? I mean, there's a lot of parallels with, like, Lord of the Rings and Star Wars, and everybody, you know, that's been pointed out a million times before, so I won't get into it. But I don't know, it's, like, kind of magical right now that they're, like, being excited about Star Wars again, because I think after Episode 3, everyone just kind of assumed that Star Wars was more or less dead in terms of movies. Like, nobody thought that we would ever see Harrison Ford as Han Solo ever again.
Yeah. Or Harrison Ford in anything good ever again.
Oh my god. Did you see Ender's Game, by the way?
No, I didn't. Was it terrible?
Dude, that movie, it sucked really bad.
That's why
that movie pissed me off.
Yeah, that's why I just don't care about movies anymore, because it's just like, if it's good, I'll wait for it to, you know, get on Netflix or come out on Blu-ray, but I'm not going to spend like $14 on a gamble.
That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really weird. It's going to be interesting to see, because the thing with Star Wars is, like, the hype is so high, but the expectations, honestly, like, the bar is set pretty low. Like, all it has to be is better than the prequels.
Yeah.
Which is not hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll have to be pretty fucking good to be best movie of the year, though. Because, did you happen to see Mad Max Fury Road?
I didn't, and I really hate myself because I just never saw it, and I blame it on the trailer, because I hear that the trailer did not do the movie justice, and every time I saw the trailer, I was just
man, the trailer was awesome.
Yeah, every time I saw the trailer, I was just like, I guess it could be okay. I guess it could be good. I don't know.
It's probably one of the best movies I've seen in over a decade.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
That's what I hear. I hear it's awesome. And I feel like watching it at home,
it's so good,
won't do it justice. Like, I really hate that I missed seeing it in the movie theater. But I'll catch it.
It's coming back to theaters for 1 week.
Oh, it is? I will have to go see it then.
Yeah, but starting September 11th, which is a weird date to choose for that.
That's
for a post-apocalyptic movie.
That's the best date to do it on.
Yeah, so like in 1 week, exactly 1 week, it's gonna be in IMAX theaters for a week. So I would honestly, if there's a theater anywhere near you, like a theater with an IMAX.
Are you joking right now? Dude, the closest IMAX theater is probably like 5 hours away.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah. Dude, it sucks up here. No, it's actually awesome, but for movies, it's pretty terrible. But there's this great movie
some
theater.
Research and see if you can find it.
Because
it's amazing.
I want to throw out an endorsement. If you ever come to Northern Maine, go to Hollywood Cinema, because it is the worst movie theater you could ever possibly go to, but it costs like $2 for a movie. And
really?
Yeah, it's amazing, because it's like the theater has like bench seats, like it's just like a bench, and it's not air conditioned, and they have like the old school projectors, so it's like 1,000,000 degrees inside the room, and the projector is louder than like the actual sound system, so you're just hearing the projector the entire time.
They're still using reel-to-reel projectors?
Yeah. So
they don't even make film for those anymore. What movies do they even show? Do they show modern movies?
Yeah, sometimes. They had X-Men Days of Future Past.
That's so weird. I don't even think they make non-digital reels anymore.
I mean, it's probably digital, but it sounds like it isn't. And there's still like the cigar burns and stuff, so it must be reel-to-reel.
Whoa. Wow, that's really weird. I didn't even think they did that anymore.
I mean, I might be just talking completely on my ass, but it's from what
I mean, so might I, but I didn't think they did that anymore. I thought we basically, like, I thought pretty much all movie theaters had moved to, like, when they actually moved to the, like they say, the silver screen, like the actual, like, reflective screen, instead of it just being like a big piece of paper up there.
Oh yeah, this is like a big piece of paper. It is the crappiest movie theater ever, but also the best movie theater ever.
That's pretty amazing.
I took Hannah there once, and she was just like, "I'm never coming back here," and I was like, "I am always coming back here." Me and Levi tried to go see a movie there one time when he came up to visit, and we bought movie tickets and everything, and the person came back out and she was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I have to give you a refund for the tickets because our projectionist didn't show up. So we can't show any movies right now."
Oh, wow.
And it was
so
like,
they must be still using a reel-to-reel projector because, like, a projectionist isn't really a job anymore.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
They need somebody back there to make sure the movie doesn't burn down the entire building. It's amazing, though. It's like the perfect place to get murdered, and I love it. Like, I keep expecting to walk out, and this has happened in Maine, where I'll go into a building during the day, and then I'll walk outside, and it just looks like Silent Hill. Like, there's just fog.
Wow.
So thick, because I live in, just some background for people, I've lived in Bangor, Maine for the past 2 years, which is the same town that Stephen King lives in, and this year I moved to Orono, where my college is, which is just like 5 minutes north of Bangor. But we get these, it was amazing in Bangor a couple weeks ago. There was this big fog that rolled in, and there was actually a moose wandering around in the fog. And I wish I'd run into it, because that would probably be the most terrifying thing that could ever possibly happen. To just see, like, a moose walking through the streets.
Probably get murdered by that moose.
Oh, no, he was just chilling.
Tough, dude.
They're real docile, because nothing can fuck with them. They only get pissed off during, like, October and stuff like that, because that's when they're out trying to bang. So,
right.
They get all ornery and hornery.
Yeah, they get a little pissy.
Yeah. Start stamping their feet and clapping their hooves. Showing off to the ladies.
That sounds terrifying.
Yeah, we're planning on going camping up in northern Maine during the first...
Not in October, I hope.
Yeah, the first weekend in October, so... Yeah,
well, good luck. I hope you don't die.
Yeah, me too. I'm bringing a bunch of dopes with me, though, so I'll feed them to the bears if anything happens. Just kidding, guys. I love you. If you're listening to this, smooch, smooch. Kiss you on the butt. But,
Nobody... Don't kid yourself. No one's going to listen to this.
Yeah, that's true. So, Star Wars. That was the thing.
Yeah.
What
I'm
else?
super excited.
What else is going on that's, like, popular? Because I live in Maine, so I couldn't tell you what's actually happening in the world.
Well, I'll tell you what's not popular. My friend Max's movie American Ultra bombed in theaters, which is kind of a bummer.
He made American Ultra?
He wrote it. Yeah.
Really? I actually wanted to go see that movie.
Yeah, but you didn't, right?
No, I asked Hannah if she wanted to go see it with me, and she went, "Nah, it's got that girl."
Nah, nobody wants to see it.
It's got that girl from Twilight in it. Me.
To be honest, she's really good in it.
Yeah. I actually thought it looked, like, good. Like, decent. It was like The Bourne Identity, but for millennials. So
yeah, pretty much. I like it a lot. It's not terribly funny. And disclaimer: I know the guy who wrote the movie. I met him at Comic-Con a couple years ago, and I've just kind of stayed in touch with him ever since. And he also wrote the movie Chronicle. And I was hanging out with him in New York while he was like on the phone with his producer, like getting Chronicle made. Like doing quick rewrites over the phone, and he was also working on the script for the Victor Frankenstein movie that's coming out in a couple months.
What is that? What is that titled? Is that the I Frankenstein one, or is that?
It's Victor Frankenstein is the title of this one.
Okay.
It's got Harry Potter and Professor Xavier in it.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. The new Professor Xavier, not Captain Kirk. Not Captain Kirk. Oh my God, Captain Picard.
Never mind that. It doesn't have gay old
Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
What's his name?
Sir Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart. He's the best.
Yeah. He's great.
He would make a great Frankenstein. Put some bolts in his neck.
Have you ever seen the Frankenstein movie where Robert De Niro played the Frankenstein's monster?
No.
Oh my God.
That's not a real thing.
It is a real thing. It came out in the 90s, around the same time that really weird Dracula movie with Keanu Reeves and Gary Oldman came out.
That's not a thing either. What are you talking?
Wait, you've never seen Bram Stoker's Dracula? Directed by Francis... I believe it's directed by Francis Ford... Listen to this. Directed by Francis Ford Coppola. What's the character's name? Like, the main guy is Keanu Reeves, who's doing a British accent, and it's incredible. He's like, Doctor! It's so bad. Van Helsing is played by... oh my god, I'm blanking on his name. Hannibal.
Oh, fucking...
You know who I'm talking
about. Yeah. What's his name?
I can't think of his name right now, and I feel like a fucking idiot because I love movies. What is it?
Gary Busey. That's it, right?
Yeah. No, well, it's not actually Gary Busey. But, so that's Van Helsing. Gary Oldman plays Dracula, and he's, like, chewing on the scenery like I've never seen anyone do before. He's, like, completely insane, and he has his hair is shaped like a giant, like, ball sack on his head. It's crazy.
Is it supposed to be a comedy, or is it, like, a serious
No, not
movie?
at all. It's, like, full-on serious. It came out in the early 90s, and my only memory of it, I watched it like a few years ago for the first time, and it's like amazingly bad. It makes no sense at all. It's like complete nonsense. But my only memory is there used to be a pinball machine in like the back corner of Exhilarama. Do you remember Exhilarama?
I think I know exactly what you're talking about, because I am picturing the haircut too. That like giant. It's supposed to be like heart shaped, right? But it looks like a giant ball sack.
It looks like a giant butt or a giant ball sack on his head.
Yeah.
But yeah, like all I knew about it was a pinball machine based on the movie, like back when it came out, and it's I highly recommend watching it because it's fucking crazy. It's one of the weirdest movies I've ever seen, and they did like it's not. I mean, it's dated, obviously, because Keanu Reeves is, like, the lead. But all the visual effects were done, like, in camera. Like, he didn't do any visual effects that couldn't have been done, like, at the beginning of film. Like, there are no digital effects. Everything's done in camera. And it's a really visually interesting movie, but it's also a complete train wreck.
Yeah.
Like, highly recommend. I think it came out in, like, 1992 or 1994.
Yeah,
like early 90s. It's called Bram Stoker's
like
Dracula.
A classic early 90s movie. I think that's like every single early 90s movie.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Has Keanu Reeves doesn't make sense is both the most entertaining thing and the worst thing that you've ever seen.
I remember yelling at the screen while watching. I was like, what the fuck am I watching? Like, what is happening?
Oh my
it's
God.
Crazy. Oh, speaking of which, have you seen the trailer for Samurai Cop 2?
No. I forgot they were making that. They kickstarted it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they kickstarted it. Unfortunately, Robert Zadar is now dead, so he can't be in it. Mm-hmm. But they replaced. I mean, it appears that the main villain is played by Tommy Wiseau. Are you familiar with Tommy Wiseau?
Tommy Wiseau, no. Tell me.
He's a crazy guy who barely speaks English. He made a movie called The Room that is.
Oh
awful.
yeah. Okay,
yeah.
I know who you're talking about. They're also making. I can't wait for that movie that the Judd Apatow boys are making based on The Room. Have you heard about that?
No.
They're making like I'm pretty sure they're making a shot-for-shot remake of The Room, but it's going to be based on the book that they wrote based on The Room. Somebody
that the
wrote
other
a book
people
about
that were in it.
Yeah, somebody wrote a book about like the making of The Room, like because apparently it was a complete shit show. So James Franco is directing it and starring in it, I believe, as Tommy Wiseau.
Wow.
And I believe it's like him, Seth Rogen, like all that whole group of people. So
I'll go see that. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, that'll be super entertaining.
Well, on that note, I think we should wrap it up because I gotta go eat dinner.
Sounds good. Sounds. What
All right.
What are you eating for dinner? What are you sticking in your mouth?
We're gonna go to a little Italian restaurant by Mom's old house, and I'm gonna get a buffalo chicken wrap. I'm really looking forward to it.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go hunt down a deer and bring it to Denny's and have a nice family main dinner where I
That
just
sounds great.
eat cold soup with a forest animal because that's my life now.
Awesome.
Well, it was good to talk to you, Bill. Thanks for
Good to talk to you too.
being on this tubular adventure with me.
Absolutely. Anytime. We'll record again soon. We'll try to do this weekly, I think.
Definitely. I mean, we might not record weekly, but I will definitely try and put them out weekly. So we might, record a couple episodes at once and then I'll put them out or so on and so forth. Who knows?
Yeah.
Movie magic.
All right. Well, I'm signing off. So thanks for listening, everybody who listened. Nobody. And we'll see you next week.
Peace.